Hi friends, it's Lisa Hetrick. Welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I'm so grateful you're here with me today. I am super excited to share part 6 in the Mix Brand Watercolor Palette series, and this is the final video in the series. This has been so much fun, swatching and sharing some insight into why I've chosen these colors for my mix palette for floral. It has been a lot of fun sharing my favorite colors with you, and I hope that you have found this series inspirational. Remember, you do not have to use these exact colors to enjoy watercoloring. So let's dive into the greens and the neutrals that are on my palette. My greens and the one neutral that I have that I enjoy the most are going to be greens that are great for foliage for florals. So leaves and greenery that supports my floral paintings. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first color is Daniel Smith Perylene Green, and this is a single pigment color. The interesting thing about Perylene Green is that it's almost black. It is a dark, deep, rich, moody green, and I really, really enjoy it. I enjoy it in its mass tone because it's very, very dark. It's a great contrasting color, and it's great for shadows, working into leaves in the shadow areas. It's also a fantastic color when I'm changing the value by adding water. Perylene Green, love it, and really, really enjoy this deep, moody green. Okay, the next green on my palette is M. Graham's Viridian Green. Now, out of all of the Viridians across all of the different brands that I enjoy the most, the M. Graham Viridian Green is my favorite. I enjoy it. Is a little bit of a granulating color, which I don't generally love, but for this green, because it's a little more on the cooler side, I do appreciate it very, very much. But what I really enjoy about the M. Graham Viridian is changing the value of this color, because when it's a really nice light wash color, you get a really nice kind of light emerald feel to it, and I really enjoy that very, very much. So M. Graham Viridian is one of my super faves across all of the brands. It also re-wets very, very well compared to some other brands that are kind of hard to re-wet their Viridians. But the M. Graham is just perfect, and I love it. Okay, so the next color on my palette is Winsor Newton Olive Green. And there are a lot of olive greens across many, many brands, but I really enjoy the Winsor Newton version. This olive green is a 3-pigment color. It is a typical olive green. I really just enjoy using it straight up exactly the way it is. In its mass tone, I enjoy it the most because it is what you would think of as an olive green. When I use it as a light wash and kind of change the value of the color, I do enjoy that as well, just to kind of get a look and feel that is a little bit lighter than olive green. So it's a great all-around olive green, very transparent and quite enjoyable to work with. The next green on my palette is Daniel Smith's Serpentine Genuine, and this is from their Primatech line. It's genuine serpentine. I like this color because it's sort of a greenish gold. It's got a little bit of a granulating property to it, but I don't mind it because it's really kind of like finely milled and the texture isn't so over the top. I just like this color. Enjoy working with it. It has got more of a yellow tone to it, so it's got that greenish gold feel that I really enjoy using with a green. Okay, so my next color on my palette is Daniel Smith Sap Green, and this is a 3-pigment color. And there are lots of different versions of sap green across many brands, but I enjoy the Daniel Smith Sap Green the most. And I think it's because I love the way when I use it in a light wash, I get some really, really nice light greens that kind of skew a little bit more yellow. Sap green is just a great all-around green to use for foliage, for flowers, or for any kind of greenery that you're painting. And this is just a really good, transparent, and stable color. And I love the Daniel Smith brand. And it's just a great pick every time. Okay, so the next color on my palette is M. Graham's Azo Green. This is a single pigment color, and Azo Green is one of my favorites from M. Graham. I just love it. It's a kind of a green gold. So you'll see that name green gold in other brands. And the M. Graham version is just one of the most luscious colors. When you water it down a little bit into lighter washes to change the value, some of the yellows tints to it come through, and it's just such a beautiful transparent color that I really, really enjoy working with. And so it becomes a go-to all the time when I'm working with foliage and leaves, and it's just great. It's a great mixing color as well. Okay, now I have one neutral color on my palette, and that's Daniel Smith Quinacridone Burnt Orange. For a neutral, it's a single pigment color, but it has got a pretty low tinting strength to it when it dries. So I like to use this color with fall foliage or foliage that I want to get a little bit of a burnt orange tint into. So sometimes I'll mix a little bit of this with the Azo Green to kind of get a little bit of a turned leaf kind of look and feel. It's the only neutral on my palette. I don't put other browns and sepias and siennas on my palette because I feel like with this mix of colors that are on my palette, I can mix up some neutrals if I need them. And this color, it lacks brightness, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me that it's not like super, super bright. It's a really, really great neutral, and I do enjoy working with it. And it's the only neutral I have on my palette, but it just kind of skews a little more on the yellow side. So it's just a great color, and I do enjoy using it to mix with other colors. Okay, so I'm pulling it together, and here are the greens and the neutrals that are on my palette. So I have Daniel Smith Perylene Green, M. Graham Viridian, Winsor Newton Olive Green, Daniel Smith Serpentine Genuine, Daniel Smith Sap Green, M. Graham Azo Green, and Daniel Smith Quinacridone Burnt Orange. And I'm just going to quickly share my favorite watercolor palette that I've used in the entire series. And this is the palette that I use with all of my tube paints. It's from Magello. It's called the Bulletproof Watercolor Palette, and it's listed down in the notes. And it's just a great all-around palette, lots of mixing space. And I've been using the B Paper Company 100% cotton watercolor paper for my swatching, and it's one of my favorite papers for paper crafting as well. I really hope you've enjoyed this entire watercolor palette series. It's been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Please consider sharing the joy by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.